Hey everybody, it's Mick. If you're new to the channel, welcome, and if you're not, welcome back. So today we take a look at two Fujifilm cameras, the XS10 and the XS20. Which one to get if you're looking for a Fuji camera that prioritizes shooting video while still being a great stills camera. So the Fujifilm XS10 was released back in late 2020, which is kind of insane to say now because it feels like a lifetime ago. Now the XS20 was released a little under a year ago, so it's still very new and it's packed with a lot of video upgrades, but might not be everybody's first choice because of its new and more expensive price point. So we're going to be comparing the two in terms of image quality for both photo and video. And with all that being said, let's get started. So the first thing we're going to be talking about is the difference in the overall body. Overall design is still pretty much identical. The XS lineup being known for their contemporary DSLR-like design, and I think this particular body is ideal for shooting videos, especially if you don't want to buy any more accessories like grips or cages, because its ergonomic design makes it very comfortable to shoot with for long periods of time already. So yeah, in terms of the actual size, the XS20 is ever so slightly larger because it does house that bigger NPW235 battery, which I absolutely love. The dial comes with an extra vlog mode, which is basically a fast menu for video settings. Now, I haven't been able to utilize it, but if you don't like the technical aspect of shooting video, it does help. And the XS20 also comes with a 3.5mm headphone jack on the right side, so you no longer have to use a dongle every time you want to play back a video or monitor your audio. Now, apart from those things, it's pretty much still the same body, but I do have to say that the overall build quality on the XS10 just seems to be a lot better because I've used this camera for almost 4 years now and there's barely anything on it, just a few light scratches here and there, but barely noticeable. On my XS20 though, there are already so many visible scratches, like here on the handle, there are scratches on the viewfinder and some on the LCD. And I've been using this for less than a year, so there is that. Now, the reason why the XS20 doesn't seem like that big of an upgrade, at least on paper, is because of the sensor. So the sensor on the XS20 is still the X-Trans4 sensor, which is the same one found on the XS10. The upgrade is the X-Trans5 processor, which can be found on the newer generations of Fuji cameras like the X-T5. So what does that mean in terms of actual performance? In terms of shooting stills, it basically means that the image quality between these two cameras is more or less going to be the same. Now, is that a bad thing? Personally, I don't think so because the X-Trans4 sensor was found in Fujifilm's previous generation flagship cameras like the X100V and the X-T4. And I'd say that those cameras still hold up today in terms of image quality as well. And for the XS10, you do get everything you would want to get a Fujifilm camera for, like film simulations, except for one, which is nostalgic negative, which can be found on the XS20 and the X-T5. But everything before that, Provia, Classic Chrome, Eternal Bleach Bypass, ASTIA Soft, Velvia, they're all still there. And you can tweak all of them to your liking to create your very own film recipes. So what do you get on the XS20? Well, you basically get better autofocus for photos, and I think that's pretty much it. Again, image quality should be the same, more or less, and I took this on a trip with me to Japan a few months ago and I was really happy with all of the photos. I thought image quality still looked fantastic even though it's an older sensor, and the autofocus was great and snappy. Didn't have any complaints there. The form factor for the XS lineup really is perfect for traveling. So yeah, not unless you're absolutely pixel peeping, I really didn't see much of a difference. But if you're somebody who shoots a lot of videos, this is where the XS20 really shines. So you'll now be able to shoot 10-bit 422 video internally. Now this was an option on the XS10 if you used an external recorder, but on the XS20 you can do it right in camera, meaning better colors right away. And that's great for somebody like me who doesn't like to shoot in f-log and tamper a lot with color grading. So yeah, you also get to shoot in the H.265 codec, which means better compression and overall better video quality. You'll also be able to shoot in 4K 60 now, which is great if you like shooting a lot of slow motion stuff. You can now do it in 4K. And you can also shoot in 6K open gate, which is great for people who like to bounce between YouTube and vertical content. Now, all of these upgrades are great to have, my personal favorite being able to shoot in 4K 60 now, but I still think the XS10 is an excellent video camera because as fun as everything I said was, they aren't necessarily vital to create good videos. The XS10 pretty much has everything you need to get started making good videos. You can shoot 4K up to 30 frames per second, so that's going to be great for talking headshots, vlogging, just shooting everyday life. If you need to shoot anything in slow motion, you can shoot in full HD 60 frames per second. And I've mentioned this in a previous video, but the XS10 is a fantastic full HD camera. So in case you don't have a laptop or a device to edit 4K videos with, you are not compromising video quality by shooting full HD on the XS10. Now, directly comparing the two cameras for 4K footage, you can see that there is a clear difference in the overall color. There's just more depth in the XS20's footage. This is because you're able to shoot in 10-bit 422 and the H.265 codec. So it does seem that the image quality here is better. The footage you're seeing is not color graded or corrected by any means, so I think I would have to give the XS10 a pat on the back here for holding up, because color is still something that can be corrected in post. For full HD footage, you can see that apart from colors, there is a more distinct difference when it comes to image quality. The videos coming from the XS20 just look sharper in full HD because of the better codec used. But overall, I would still say that it's not that drastic of a difference shooting in 1080p. But of course, the XS20 still wins here because it is able to shoot in 4K 60. So if you're going to be shooting a lot of slow motion video, the XS20 might be the better choice here. So I've used the XS10 for the past almost 4 years now, and apart from having to shoot full HD 60 frames per second video for my B-roll shots, I don't really have any other complaints. Again, everything I mentioned earlier with the XS20, they're all great features to have, but if somebody were to ask me for a camera recommendation that's good for both photo and video and is on a relatively tight budget, I'd have a really hard time recommending the XS20 because of its steep price point. So I think you should consider getting the XS20 if you want a fantastic stills camera and a great video camera. Now, as for the XS20, I think you should get this if you need, and I emphasize need, better quality videos, because again, 4K 60, better codecs, being able to shoot in 6K open gate, which is again a fantastic feature to have because that was once exclusive to the XH2S, which is very, very expensive. Not to mention a bigger and better battery that lasts forever. So if I'm being totally honest, that's probably the biggest difference between the two cameras. But jokes aside, I really don't regret buying my XS20 even as an XS10 lover. So if you have the means to buy the XS20, go for it. But in no way do I think you're compromising image quality by going for the XS10. So yeah, that is pretty much that for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. It got something from it. If you guys have any more questions regarding either camera, leave a comment down below and I will try my best to get to you. I'll see you guys in the next video.